man. We're about to get into it. Let's go. Let's see if we can find some spots, man, with a 3 game card. Typically, that's the time for us to really take a deep dive into these games, man. Tomorrow, it felt like every game come on. In the whole, every team plays. It feels like I think it's like at least 12 games tomorrow. So, you get these smaller slates, you can really kind of dive in. I got a prop that I want to share with you guys. That's probably super contrarian. Probably a lot of people not on, but I locked it in, and I'm gonna share that with you guys as well. Let's see what y'all got in the comments section. What's up, KC? I see you in here. Sean, what's up? Let's get to it, man. Patrick, what's good? Patrick, you was on Kyrie yesterday. Kyrie ticket missed by 1 bucket. Yeah, he started hot too. Kyrie started hot. I was looking at that game thinking about you yesterday, Patrick. Kyrie definitely started hot. I think he had 13 in the first quarter, first half. I was like, oh, he gonna crush that 22 and a half. But like I said, man, that Brooklyn offense is not predicated on just Kyrie right now. It's kind of predicated on KD, and he's shooting extremely efficient too. So, kind of hard to cap them games though because they got so many scores, especially with Seth being back, Joe Harris being back. They got guys that can get a bucket, man. They definitely got guys that can get a bucket. Your Q said, "Yo, I'm not sure who the guy was yesterday. He gave out a lot of the under picks. A lot of people been hitting me up about the guy with the unders, man. That was Boogie. Boogie actually hit me. Was actually giving out them unders. I know a lot of them cashed yesterday. I think people tailed them because I got some DMs about him. He said them joints was on point. What's his Twitter? Boogie's Twitter is at. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Hold on. Boogie's Twitter is it's at Trey Trey Boogie Boogie underscore look like 2 underscores. So yeah, if you're looking for that guy, he said he coming back today. Boogie will be in here. It's Trey Boogie um underscore. It looks like so. Yeah, I put it in the YouTube comment section for you guys if you want to look at that. But let's get into the slate, man. No more wasted time. Just kind of wanted to go through. I feel like I don't get a chance to check in with the chat no more. What up, JT? My guy Mitch in the building. Mitch on YouTube and Twitter. That's my guy. What up, Mitch? All right, let's go. Let's get into the slate, man. I got some news and some notes to share. Also, I done pulled up the slate for tomorrow. Already been looking at that. Let me go to the notes for today so we can get started. So, like I said, 3 game card. Real quick recap: 2-2 yesterday for me. Missed on the Kings. Devin Booker decided he was putting on the Kobe jersey yesterday. Dude looked invincible. Everything he shot looked like it went in. Besides shooting 1 for 6 from the 3-point line, Kings could not get a stop. Could not play any transitional defense. I am looking towards them tomorrow though in a bounce back spot against the Pacers on the 3rd game in 4 nights. So. Spread -4.5. I do anticipate that moving. So probably gonna get there. Didn't completely cap the game, but something that I'm already looking for tomorrow. So lost on the Kings plus the 1. I think they lost that game by 5. Lost on what else did I lose on? I lost on I lost on the over the Brooklyn and Orlando over 223. That game fell short. Brooklyn, I thought Orlando was gonna get a couple guys in. I thought we was getting the total at a pretty nice number, but Wendell Carter Jr. was ruled out. I think Jalen Suggs was ruled out, so they couldn't score. Shout out to Bobo though, trying to hold it down by itself. Him and Paulo, they did the best they could. Just couldn't get there. Brooklyn also took a step back offensively. Just didn't shoot the ball well. I think they didn't shoot 40% against the Orlando team. But I did talk about teams that give up 130 points or teams that lose by 30 points typically come back with whatever they got on the defensive end. And you saw that yesterday. Coach Vaughn was a lot more satisfied. Even though they still lost, they covered the spread yesterday. That was a 10-point spread that Brooklyn was laying. So they end up covering that spread. And he was happy with the defensive effort yesterday because they were actually in that game the whole entire game. Brooklyn never, jumped out even to a big lead at all. So that was that. The 2 winners I gave out yesterday were the Raptors money line, which you guys couldn't have played anyway. That was gone at that time. But they did end up covering the spread at 4, which is what the game closed at. OG Anunoby is different. This dude is absolutely amazing on the defensive end. Probably I've been talking about him for a while, but probably in consideration for Defensive Player of the Year. If you watch Toronto play, he just typically neutralizes the opponent's best wing player. It doesn't matter if it's a forward, I call him a smort, a forward or a guard. Dude just typically locks down. So they were able to cash yesterday, holding the. I don't think the Cavs scored 100 points. Second night of a back-to-back travel from Detroit to Toronto, and I think they were limited to 88 points last night. So shout out to Toronto, they cashed money line -4. We just got updates. Bogdanovich and Jaden Ivey are real game time decisions. What else is new? Seems like we can't catch a break, and officially no. Especially when we get smaller slates, like we finally get a chance to kind of dive deeper into these games. And when you get that opportunity, because it's only a 3-game slate or a 2-game slate or a 4-game slate, that's when we get all the injury news. We got 5 or 6 players affecting the spread, affecting whether we want to take the team or not. It's bananas, man, and it's starting early this year. I feel like these shenanigans didn't start until later in the season last year, but neither here nor there, man. Like I said, let's just get into it. The other winners. So 2-2, I gave out 2. Trey Murphy points. I talked about really liking Trey Murphy a lot yesterday without CJ and without Brandon Ingram, and they just weren't getting them involved early. Zion, ran the point forward yesterday. Shout out to anybody who laddered his assists, because I think he finished with 8 and almost, it was real close to a triple double. He had 8 and 23, 24, something like that. So points didn't cash, but we always talk about pivoting to these players' assists, because they're going to be looking forward to double teams. And the OKC knew that they didn't have anybody they could stick in front of them one-on-one, so he was able to draw double teams and kick it to his opponent, to kick it to his teammates, and they knocked down some timely shots and was able to get the win. I don't think they covered, though. I think it was a 4, depending on where you got the spread. I think the Pelicans fought. I mean, the Oklahoma City Thunder fought hard in that game. But we did cash on Trey Murphy. If you laddered him to 20, that cashed as well. So 2-2 yesterday. But let's talk about today. Probably be a quicker show today because we don't have as many plays, so it's not as much for me to break down. I've dissected these games, but I'm not going to give you guys everything because it's going to take too long. But I will share with you guys, what I'm looking for in today's game. So first game up, let's go to Detroit. So Pistons and the Knicks. 3-6-1 ATS last 10, coming off of back-to-back home losses against Portland and Memphis. They've gone under their total in the last 3 games. This is the first night of a back-to-back. It's a road home back-to-back. They're in Detroit tonight, back home tomorrow to face the Bucks, who probably gonna smack them up tomorrow. Bucks at the rest advantage. They're beasts. So they host the Bucks tomorrow, but they are in Detroit tonight. Opposite side of that, Pistons. Pistons 6-2-2 ATS last 10, 5-3-1 ATS at home. Coming off a home loss to Cleveland, where they played really, really good. They end up getting a push, depending on where you got the number at. It finished that they ended up losing that game by 8. So they played really well in the first quarter, first half, before they kind of teetered out towards the end. They couldn't score in the second half. Cleveland defense really picked up, and JB Bickerstaff got smart and took Robin Lopez out the game. So. But before coming home, they won that 6-game road trip out west, and they actually did pretty well. They covered 4 games. They caught a win on that 6-game road trip. They covered 4 of those games. They covered against Sacramento, Denver, Utah, and Phoenix. And I know a lot of people probably didn't think that would happen. And they won 2 of those games outright in Denver and Utah. And they've gone under in their last 2 games. And I think. I'm going to talk about him a little bit more, but Marvin Bagley the third is a big part of that. I've been mentioning his name a lot, kind of anticipating his return to this team, and he's made a tremendous impact. Emmanuel Quickley is listed as questionable. That's big as far as being able to defend guys like Jaden Ivey, Killian Hayes, who's played a lot better recently. I know we used to give him a lot of slack, but dude's kind of picked it up. Not elite at all, but he is better than he was last year. On the opposite side, Marvin Bagley was listed as questionable. He's in with the migraines. And I just told you guys that Jaden Ivey and Bogdanovich are still listed as questionable. I think Isaiah Stewart's back as well. And Cade is contemplating whether he's going to shut it down for the season and go ahead and get that shin surgery, or, if they're going to try to muster up something. I don't see a reason why they would, franchise-wise, they're not going to the playoffs this year. They're not winning anything. They already had the worst record in the league. So they may end up just doing that. It sucked for Cade because I really enjoy watching him play. Extremely talented kid, but we might not see Cade the rest of the year if they're smart. So what I got for you guys. This will be the third time already that these two teams have played. The Knicks blew them out the first time in the season opener in the Garden, and then they won by 9 the second time in the Garden as well. Both of those games went over. One went over by 9.5 points. The other went over by 16 points. And really what it comes down to is just this, man. The Knicks, they can't be trusted, for me anyway, as favorites. They cannot be trusted as favorites. I've taken the Knicks one time this year. That was when they were home favorites against Atlanta. Atlanta was coming off the loss to Toronto where they lost by 30. Took the Knicks minus 2.5 in that one. They was up by 20 and lost by 20. So, it really just comes down to that for me. They can't be trusted as a favorite. That's my personal opinion. The numbers also say the same thing. The Knicks, they're 0-5-1 ATS in their last 6 games versus a team with a losing straight up record. So you don't want to take them as a favorite. The Pistons, 4-0-1 ATS in their last 5 games overall, and 4-0-2 in their last 6 games playing on 1 day's rest. Knicks do, however, they dominate this matchup. They're 8-1-1 ATS in the last 10 meetings, 4-1 ATS in the last 5 meetings in Detroit specifically. So they travel well to Detroit. Looking at some SDQL stuff, Knicks 5-2 to the over as a favorite, including 3 in a row, and 4 of their last 5. The defense doesn't come to play when they're the favorite. This Detroit team has been playing better defense as of late, and a lot of that comes from Marvin Bagley III. But the Knicks, allowing 120 points when they're favored this season and scoring 123. That would be a look towards the over. But I know Ski posted in the chalkboard earlier. I would probably be looking towards the under if I was going to play a side in this game as well. And a big part of that is you look at Marvin Bagley, right? So I always talk about this guy, but looking at his impact, just to give you guys some data around, my narrative of Marvin Bagley impacting the game. So without him this season, the Pistons, they're 3-10 straight up, 4-7-2 against the spread. That's only a 36% cover rate when Marvin Bagley wasn't in the game this year. They're also 8-5 to the over. So 62% of their games were actually going over, scoring 108 points, but giving up 118. Bagley has played in 9 games so far this season. In those 9 games, they are just 2-7 straight up, but they're 5-1-3 against the spread, covering 83% of the spreads with Marvin Bagley being in the lineup. They're also 5-4 to the under. So the under is hitting more, 56%, when he actually plays. They're scoring 2 more points, 110 per game, and allowing 4 fewer points at 114 per game. So, him being in the lineup today, Isaiah Stewart being in the lineup today, I think that only helps. And I played as soon as Marvin Bagley got ruled in. I don't know if you guys saw me tweet it or not. I tweeted, the little circle with Detroit. Rasheed Wallace, shout out to the OG in the middle, kind of leading charge. That's when I played the Pistons plus the 5. I got the Pistons plus the 5. Yeah, I like I talked about it on the morning show. I like the Pistons in this spot. I can't trust the Knicks. So if it was Pistons or nothing for me, especially with the look ahead tomorrow, and I just played the Pistons. Moving along, and I don't have as much on these other games, but Warriors and the Mavericks. This one actually opened last night. I saw it at a pick, and then of course money quickly came in on the Warriors, which I totally understand. I totally understand that. Warriors, they're coming in off the blowout win on the road. First one of the season that was blowout in that fashion. They absolutely dominated Minnesota. But then we see the Washington Wizards actually dominate Minnesota yesterday too. So not really sure what's going on with the Timberwolves. Not a bet on team right now. Just when you thought they were kind of turning the corner, specifically on the road against the East. That was their second straight win. If you throw away the Pelicans game, that was the second night of a back-to-back where they lost by 45 and didn't have any of the starters in. They're just 2-9 ATS and straight up on the road this season. Mavs, first game back home after a 3-game road trip out east. They look terrible on that road trip. This is also a third game in 4 nights for them. They played in Toronto. They played Boston. One night off, and then back at home tonight. This team is terrible. They're 1-9 ATS in their last 10 games, but they are 8-3 at home specifically. So they play better at home. Haven't been playing up to par. A lot of it has to do with their defense. If you see, these numbers recently, they're giving up a lot of points, and especially when you factor in the pace. The Dallas Mavericks play at one of the slower paces in the league. So if they give up 120, 115 points, you know that the other team is just really getting out and running. So all those things considered, looking at Dallas, one of the other things I did as well, just kind of figuring out what I wanted to do with this game. When you look at when you look at Dallas wins, they don't really have a lot of impressive ones, especially recently. Like over the last 2 weeks, this Dallas team does not look good. Should they get up for a spot like this where playoff revenge is on the line? We know that we know that the Warriors knocked them out of the Western Conference Finals last year. So, rematch game, TNT, nationally televised game. Should they get up for a game like that? Absolutely. I think all the public money, of course, is going to be on the Warriors. That's why you see the spread go all the way up to 2 at some places. So I think, for me, I'm gonna just sit this one out. The Warriors should win this game. I absolutely agree. I think they're a much better team. I think that, based on their motivation, they could smack this Mavericks team up, in my estimation. What I will give them credit for is they actually defend the 3-point line a lot better than most teams. They're actually allowing hold on, let me see, I wrote it down. I think they're allowing the fewest threes, so they're allowing. I'm sorry, they're allowing the league's third fewest 3-point attempts this season and the fourth fewest makes this season. Teams are only making 11 threes against them this season. This is going to be that contrast in style because we know Golden State loves to shoot the 3-point ball. I also think that this is a really good look for Steph specifically because he's the best scorer from 2-point range on the Golden State Warriors. 70% effective field goal percentage so far this season in the paint. So if they're going to take away the 3, which we know they have a lot of guys that can rotate, Reggie Bullock, Dorian Finney-Smith, a lot of guys that can rotate and get out there to take away those 3-pointers. I do think it'll be a lot of stuff in the paint, and I'm not worried about, the Mavs rim protection. I don't think they have too much. They typically like to run you off the 3-point line and make you settle for a much more difficult 2-point shot. So for that reason, I kind of like Steph points. If you go back and look at his game log versus the Mavericks, it's not great. He was getting his teammates involved a lot more last year. So, take with that information and do what you want. I will say that the Warriors are 4-1 ATS in the last 5 meetings, but just 3-7 ATS in the last 10 meetings in Dallas specifically. So they haven't been playing well in Dallas specifically. A couple more things I wanted to share with you guys, and I got a player prop that I really like in this game as well. So SDQO, Mavericks since the start of last season, when they're coming off a 3-game road trip in their first game back home, that's typically a spot you want to fade a lot of teams. But the Mavericks, they're 6-2 straight up, 5-2-1 against the spread, 6-2 to the under when they're coming off a 3-game road trip in their first game back home. Quality wins during that time span as well against the Nuggets. They beat the Warriors in one of those games. The Timberwolves and the Suns, we know that those were teams that finished at the top of the Western Conference last year, but they also had a loss to the Warriors in the most recent game on May the 22nd. So, take with that information and do what you want. It's set up to be a Mavs spot based on last year, but I mean it's really hard to back this Mav team this year. So that's what I got for you guys there. Also, I got a tweet I want to share real quick that goes along with one of my plays. Let me go to my bookmark tweets. So I was already capping this and I saw Steph no, I think is how you pronounced it. I shared the tweet up top. Steph rebounds. I think I talked about this over the weekend. This dude rebounds is crazy. His road and home rebound splits has been pretty impressive. His rebounds at 6.5 is plus money. He leads the team in rebounds on the road this year. He's averaging 8 on the road on 12 rebound chances. I'm not 100% sure why, but if you look at the tweet that I just put up top for you guys, you see that Stephen says that the 6.2 defensive rebounds per game is more than a third of the starting centers in the league. And you see the list of these guys that Steph's averaging more assists than. Guys like Jakob Poeltl, Steven Adams, Nicholas Claxton, Mason Plumlee, Alfred Sengun, Al Horford, even Kevon Looney on his own team, Brooke Lopez, who's allergic to rebounds, Mitchell Robinson, and Dwight Powell. So Steph rebounds, I think, is in play. I didn't play Steph rebounds. What I did play, though, was Wiggins. I played Wiggins under rebounds. So I told you guys I had an interesting look. Wiggins rebounds is set at 5.5. The under, when I played it, I got a worse line than what it actually was minus 122. I locked that in. Unit play for me. Uh, Under 5.5 rebounds. I think that line has since changed to minus 115. I saw it a couple books. Wiggins is averaging only 4 rebounds on the road versus 8.7 on 8.7 rebound chances uh on the road, right? So 7 rebounds is what he's averaging at home. So a big discrepancy between home and away rebounds this year. Also, I do think kind of breaking down the game and dissecting the game. He's gonna draw Luka. We know that. I'm pretty sure that's who they're gonna put on him, which probably means that it presents even less rebound chances for him because Luke, if you're defending Luka, your job isn't to get the rebound. Your job is to defend Luka at the highest level, somebody else to get the rebound. So for both of those reasons, I kind of like Wiggins. Like I say, he only averages 4. I don't think that he gets 6 rebounds tonight. Also, looking back, at Wiggins rebounds, so he's gone under 6 rebounds. Wiggins has in all 7 games versus the Mavs since he's joined the Warriors in 2021. He hasn't. I'm not going to use the N word. He hasn't had 7 rebounds. I'm sorry, 6 rebounds in any of the games out of the last 7. Like I said, I think guarding Luka, you got to take a look at that. Shout out to my boy Boogie because he had me looking at the unders today, man. I see him in the chat. So that's what I got for you guys. Couldn't talk anybody off Golden State. I know all the public money on them, but I do like Steph points. I got a little small parlay I'm gonna share with you guys at the end that does have Steph points in it. Last game up, Clippers, and I didn't even change the banner. Last game up, Clippers and the Blazers. Spread opened at 3.5, total at 214. It was up at 216. It's all the way down to 211. I actually like the over just a tad bit. I feel like that's a tad bit too low. And I could be tripping, and I'm probably not gonna play it because I don't know. Every time I say I'm not gonna play a total and I don't play it, it hit. Every time I play it, it loses. So I'm probably gonna stay off of it unless I do a little more research and find that I really, really like it. But let me tell you what I got here. I actually was just looking at this game a little bit more too. So Clippers, first road game after 2 home games for them. They're coming off a 14-point win against Indiana on Sunday. This starts a 2-game road trip. They also play tomorrow in Utah. So front end of a road back-to-back tonight. Portland, this will be their first game back home after a 4-game road trip and one day of rest. They lost 4 of their last 5 and alternated between covering and not covering in those last 4. Most recently, they got beat up pretty badly against Brooklyn. But I looking back at that game, it was an easy cash for Brooklyn. We should have all jumped on Brooklyn. I talked about Jeremy Grant talking about the game before that went to overtime against the Knicks being a must-win game. Typically, you can't bring that on back-to-back nights, that must-win intensity in back-to-back games. We just got news that Emmanuel Quickly will be available to play. That also helps towards the under because we know his defensive impact. So if you're looking at the under, that's even more reason like the under. So all right, so that's Portland. Of course, no PG, no Kawhi, no Damian Lillard in this one. And I think that's what makes it so difficult for me because I am not someone who wants to back the Clippers. I feel like the Clippers are due to kind of come up just a tad bit because it's been so much shuffling in and out of the lineup between PG and Kawhi. Whether one of the guys gonna play, the other one rest. Both of them gonna play. Neither one of them gonna play. So typically, when you have so much just so many different rotations in the starting lineup, it can make it difficult for everybody kind of be on the same page and know what their role is. So because of that, you see teams kind of go through it, right? They struggle at times. We've seen it multiple times. You look at the Miami Heat shuffling guys in and out. Same thing with the Blazers. The Blazers, I think, are still I think they have one ATS loss with Damian Lillard being a part of that team so far in the games that he actually finished. Because he did get hurt in one and they didn't cover that one. But I think they have one ATS loss, maybe 2 ATS losses this year. It makes it difficult for me to kind of I'm not a backer of this Clippers team. I just want to go ahead and put that out, right? So one of the things I looked at since the start of last season, the Clippers, they're now 10-17 straight up, 12-14-1 ATS in games without PG and Kawhi together versus teams that had a 50% win percentage or better. On the road specifically, playing against teams that have a 50% win percentage or better without PG and Kawhi. They are 5-11 straight up, 7-8-1 against the spread, 9-7 to the over, losing by an average of 5 points. This year, the Clippers are 0-2 straight up and against the spread this season on the road without PG and Kawhi. One of those games came against Golden State last week, where Golden State absolutely smacked them up. I think that was last Friday. And then the other game came against the Oklahoma City Thunder. I think on October the 24th or the 28th. I don't think that was on. I think it was the 24th. It was one of those games where they played them back to back. I don't know if you guys remember that or not. But the Clippers play OKC back to back in OKC, and OKC won both games and covered both games. So yeah, I know that they beat a really good Pacers team. The reason why I don't really want to back the Blazers in this spot is because they are coming home off that road trip. But something interesting to note, I looked at this real quick. I want to share this with you guys. I actually didn't even get a chance to write it down. I was just doing this while I was on the way home earlier. I was looking at teams that okay, yeah. So I was looking at teams that are coming off. Let me see. So teams that are coming off 4 road games in a row. Teams that are coming off 4 road games in a row, and they're playing at home in their next game. They're playing at home in the next game, and then the following game is away. So I'm talking about the Portland Trailblazers, of course. 4 straight road games, 1 home game, then they go back on the road tomorrow. Since 2021, so since it started last season, those teams are 17-15 straight up, 17-15 against the spread, 16-16 to the over/under. So no real advantage there. But they are winning these games and covering at a very small percentage. To me, that would be a play on the on the Portland Trailblazers. Looking further into that, if you look at it this year, those teams are 4-4 straight up, 3-5 against the spread, so not covering as much, 5-3 to the over. The last thing I did was I looked at, so I went back 3 years, 2020, teams coming off 4 straight road games, 1 home game, and then have another game on the road. Those teams are 29-24 straight up, 55% cover rate, 31-22 against the spread. So they don't do that bad coming off, dating back 3 years ago, coming off 4 straight road games, 1 home game, and then got to go back on the road. So it's not as bad of a spot. The last thing I looked at was since 2020, so last 3 years, teams coming off 4 straight road games, 1 home game, and they're the favorite, and then they go on the road. Those teams are actually 17-7 straight up, 14-10, which is a 58% hit rate, and 10-14 to the under. So those games actually do go under, but those teams are covering 14 out of 24 times. Looking back to 2018, those teams are 27-21 as a home favorite, coming off 4 road games, 1 home game, and have to go on the road for their next game as well. 33-15 straight up as well. So I don't know, man. Take with that information and do what y'all want. But I do think it's interesting because, typically we want to fade these teams coming off, 4 road games in a row. One thing I was looking at in this game, and I actually made it a part of the parlay, just a small parlay. This is a 0.10 unit play for me, but I did parlay. I didn't have anything official in this one. I might end up playing Anthony Simons points, but looking at this game, if you look at Anthony Simons, dude is points are sitting at 23.5. This game is projected to go under, so it's going to be some unders that's going to hit in this game for sure. Anthony Simons at home this year, he's gone over 23.5 both home games. Of course, they've been up against much worse opponents, much faster paced teams as well. But Anthony Simons has gone over his point prop in both of those games, and he shot the ball 21-20 times. So I like him to go over his 23.5 points. What I parlayed was, and I'm probably going to play some Anthony Simons points over as well. But what I parlayed was Anthony Simons 23.5 with Steph Curry 27.5 and with Jalen Brunson over 23.5. I think taking all of those guys at 20. So Jalen Brunson at 25 for plus money, because if you finish with 23, he should get 25. Jalen Brunson at 25, Steph Curry at 30, and Anthony Simons at 25 is plus 941 when I put it in earlier. Like I said, small play, but I do feel like those are the three guys that should be scoring tonight in those three games, respectively. So that's what I got for you guys, man. Only straight bet I put in today, which sounds weird. Only straight bet I put in is the Pistons plus the 5. And like I said, I'm probably going to play each one of those player props, half unit play, and only a tenth of a unit on the actual parlay. I did also play Wiggins under 5.5 rebounds. So Wiggins under 5.5 rebounds, Detroit plus the 5. Both of those are 1 unit plays. Put the parlay in. Like I said, plus 942. I like that. And couldn't talk anybody off Steph rebounds either, man. I think Steph, continues to rebound the ball well on the road. So that's what I got. Let me know what you guys are on. I always tell you guys, if you can, hit the like button for me. Subscribe to the videos on YouTube if you guys aren't. Doing a morning show in the morning, Cashed It with Chris at 7 a.m. Eastern time on weekdays. So yeah, tune in with me then as well. Let's see what y'all on in the chat. And if you got a request, send it to me. Let's see. What up, Coop? I like Toronto, New Orleans for tomorrow. Detroit plus 5, my only NBA play today. Okay, what up, Courtney? Yeah, shout out to Nimbar for cashing the Pacers money line. Sorry, Chris. Have to take the Kings tomorrow. Yeah, I already looked at the Kings tomorrow. That's what I was talking about. Can't back Dallas on that 4-game losing streak. What else y'all on? Mitch said they always on back-to-back these back-to-backs on these on nights with no games. Don't need to be released until 5 p.m. Yeah, that's a fact. What else? Knicks to the moon. Okay, zoned up. Say he on the Knicks. Sneaky feeling New York wins by a lot. Feels like the line should be around 8.5. Well, they lay 8.5. I think in New York, so the line would naturally come down to 5 because you typically get 3 points home road. So that's the line's about right. You can't really trust them, though. You can't really trust them. The spots you think the Pistons will play up in, they might play down in. So I do think that they come out and they play hard for the coach Dwayne Casey, though. They have been. What else y'all on real quick? Double result, Knicks minus 110. 6 for 6 first quarter and first half against Detroit. However, Pistons doing well. First half and first quarter, last 5. Dallas is the team you can't trust. That's a fact. Detroit got motivation, and if you got to depend on Killian, oh man, yeah, that don't sound good. All right, let me get to the actual plays in the chat, man. If you got, like I said, if you got a request, send it to me. Be a quick show today. We get out of here, but we got a lot to talk about tomorrow, so I'm gonna start jumping into these games even more than I already did. Good luck to you too, Zoned Up. Capper Taylor said he on Julius Randle over 25.5. It's his birthday. I did see that. Wiggins over 16.5, 17.5 at most. Books now saw 16.5 on Bet Rivers. Wiggins has 17 plus in 8 of his last 11 games versus Golden State and 12 last 15 games and 12 of his last 15 games overall versus Dallas. Mavs also allow 7th most points to small forwards. I can see it. Wait, they definitely go whoever, Steph is whoever Luka is guarding, they're gonna make him work for sure. They probably won't have him chasing around Clay. I can't see him on anybody but Wiggins, and Wiggins probably gonna make him work on the defensive end. That's what they did in the playoffs, at least. Patrick said Wiggins points is a good look. Dallas tries to hide Luka on defense. Yep, that's exactly what I just said. Zubac over 3.5 first quarter. Okay. All right, yeah. So send me your request, man. Send me your request, and I'll get to you guys, and we're gonna get up out of here. Like I said, probably be a short show today. We get my guy Finesse up. Bookie, I'm coming to you, and I got Ben connected. What's up, Finesse? How you doing, bro? Hey, my man Finesse it kicked my man Finesse straight out the club. Ben, what's going on, man? How you doing?
How you doing? I can't complain. What about you?
I'm good, bro. I'm good. Trying to cash some tickets, man. How you feeling? What you want today?
Small card, man.
Mm-hmm.
2 plays, Julius Randle PRA, birthday obviously, and he eats the Pistons alive, man. Like I looked at his last 8 games versus the Pistons, so basically his most recent games obviously with the Knicks. He's over his line in 6 of the last 8, and he's over his line in all 6 where he plays over 30 minutes. Spot play obviously, like he's gonna be motivated to do it on his birthday. I sprinkled a couple bucks on his triple double. The odds were too good. I got plus 8,700 on his triple double last night.
Oh wow, okay.
And I mean, if you look at every other book, it's like for him to get 10 assists is like plus 1,000. So you're basically taking 10 assists for plus 8,700.
I was gonna say, yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, he had a. Hold on, has he have a triple double yet this year? I'm looking through his game log, but it looked like he hasn't had more than 7 assists against the Pistons in his career.
But I know he's had seasons where he's averaged 6, and if Brunson gets it going tonight, he might just dish to Brunson.
Right? No, I definitely understand that. Yeah, I agree with that as well. Yeah,
because Brunson has those games where he'll play a little off the ball, run around, and we all know Randall's had to been the point forward there before Brunson got there.
Yeah, that's a fact.
So I figure just worth a few bucks, and then Steph Curry PRA. I mean, you've said it a million times. Like Curry on the road is like a cheat code. Like with how bad they've been on the road, Curry's got to do it all. In games where he's played over 30 minutes this year, he's hit this line in 7 of 8.
Was that game that he didn't Ben? Was that the last game against Minnesota?
It was the Suns game.
Oh, okay. It
was that Suns
the
game
blowout one. Yeah, okay.
He didn't play 30. He only played 30. He didn't play 30. He didn't play the fourth quarter.
Gotcha. Okay.
But like, I mean, he's like matchup proof, right? Like the last time they played the Suns, he's got Bridges on him. He's one of the best defenders in the NBA, and he still goes for 50 on him.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So I mean, he's averaging 32, 8, 8 on the road this year, and his PRA line when I got it was 40.5.
Okay.
So we can have a below average game and still crush it.
Right.
I think that's easy. Obviously, it's a playoff type game. So, I mean, playoff type games on the road, the stars show up. We always talk about that.
Absolutely.
And you look at Curry's game log, he doesn't even really have to get to his points prop in order to get this. He's had triple doubles this year on the road, at least one I know of for sure. And I think I saw you posted here like Curry's one of the better rebounding guards in the league.
Yep,
he's top. To facilitate, he's gonna go for a triple double.
That's a fact.
So I mean, we could see like 23, like 9 and 7, or 20, 25, like 8 and 8, and he crushes it. Not crushes it, but he gets it.
Absolutely.
I think there's a lot of different ways that Curry can get there. I've just realized this year, if it's a motivation or a spot play, like I'm just going PRA because I'm just betting on the player to play good. I don't know how. If it's a specific matchup, then I guess I look at one specific stat. But like I've just realized, if we're betting on a player to play good, just take the whole stat line and hope he plays well.
Yeah, Ben, you hearing you speak about Steph really, like I said, I was looking at his rebounds, but if you go back and look at, his game logs, and you could, certain people take away, the playoff ones, because, the way that, things go in the playoffs is going to be a tad bit different than the regular season. If you look at these totals, they haven't gone over this total that's set, in any of those playoff games, but this one, people say, it's going to be a playoff type atmosphere, and it could, it definitely could be. But looking at his game log against, against Dallas, you kind of not want to take his points. But of course, Steph this year, of course, you do want to take his points. Of course, he's, really, really, just shooting the ball really, really well from 3, from 2. But recently, Ben, would you, looking at his game log recently, specifically, last couple road games, he set that one out again against the Pelicans. But the game before that against Houston, which is, a much, bottom tier defensive team, he was able to distribute. He ended up getting cooking late in that one. Of course, Houston plays at a much faster pace, so you're going to need to score a lot more points. But with Klay, kind of shooting the ball so well, Draymond having 19 points last game in Minnesota, would that kind of make you want to pivot, Ben, away from his points and go towards his rebounds plus assists, or no?
I don't know, man. Like, I totally get where you're coming from with that,
mm-hmm.
no doubt. I just think, like, if I'm going to bet on a player to play well, I'm just going to bet on him to play well, right? It's Steph, so like I think he's a pretty sure bet to score at least 20, right? So if I'm betting on his points plus his rebounds plus assists, I think that line is at 17 and a half, 16 and a half.
Let's see. Go keep talking, man. I'm looking at it right now.
If it's at 16 and a half, right? Like, you know, for him to hit the PRA line, but for him to hit the rebounds plus assist line, but not hit the PRA line, he would have to score under 23, right?
Got you. Okay, I see what you're saying.
I think he's scoring 23 points. You know.
So Ben, I actually see it at 12 and a half. That seems like too good to be true. That's what I'm thinking. Like I'm thinking like that might actually be the one. I'm looking at his game logs right now. So we need 13. He had 19 last game against Minnesota, only 9 against Utah, 15 against the Clippers, 21 against Houston.
That big one against the Heat, right?
So I see. Yeah, he did. Yeah, because he almost had. Did he get the triple double or close?
I think it was like 23, 13, and 11.
Yeah, I see 16 against the Knicks, 15 against Phoenix, only 10 against San Antonio, but that game was a blowout. 10 against Sacramento, 9 against Cleveland, 16 against Sacramento the game before, and 12 the game before that. That might actually be the play, Ben. This is why I like having these conversations, man. I think I might take a hard look at that 12 and a half because if we're expecting to, to be the facilitator and get the rebounds, which he typically does on the road.
He could go for 10 assists or
10 points. Right. And that's what I'm thinking too. Yeah. Okay. I like your look though, Ben. Absolutely like your look, man. I love being able to talk it out.
Play well, like whatever capacity you want to play him in, you play him, right? But I think he's going to have a good game. I think kind of the same idea with how I said Randall. Like I just think that they're just gonna play well. It's like for Steph, like road games are just always motivation spots for him. And Randall's a weird player. Like I'm a big Julius Randle guy, but he's like kind of a weird player. Like he's kind of just up and down. You know, like he's just a roller coaster. But like you kind of buy the volatility with him. You know.
Absolutely, Ben. Hey, best of luck, man. I love your analysis, and I think you just gave me another play that I really, really like, man. Appreciate that.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna do that too. Actually. Yeah, that sounds great.
Absolutely. Finesse, what's going on, my brother? How you doing? And I'm gonna kick it to you, Bookie.
What's good, bro? How you doing?
I'm good, bro. What's going on with you?
Chilling, bro. Hope everybody enjoyed the holiday weekend.
Absolutely.
We back to it. So I got a couple of things for you guys. Hold on. All right, so we'll start with Andrew Wiggins. I know somebody mentioned in the chat. I'm on Wig 2 ways. So I collab with my crew. So this is MJC's analysis. So shout out to him. And the guy in the chat mentioned part of this. Over 16.5 points. I know it's 17.5 at most books, like he said. Still like it there. He's hit this number in 5 of his last 5 and 8 of his last 10. In both of those spans, he's averaging over 20 points per game. He's averaging a little over 16 field goal attempts over the last 5 games. And he's hit this line in 22 as last 25 when taking 16-plus shots. Tight spread, so it should be a favorable game script. And Wiggins should see 32-plus minutes. 15 as last 17 he's hit this number playing 32-plus minutes. He mentioned the success against Dallas. Dallas is allowing the second most points and the highest field goal percentage to opposing small forwards over the last 7 games. And we've seen some small forwards recently have success. Anunoby scored 26. Jaylen Brown scored 31. Batum scored 22. Wagner scored 22. So love that there. As an official, I'm also on Wig 2+ threes and Luka 2+ threes. So that's at -110 on DK. A lot more juice on other books. I think it was like -160 on FanDuel. Excuse me. So we're getting a lot of value there. Wiggins has 2+ threes in 17 and 19 games this year. 9 of his last 10. On the road, 8 of 9 on the road, and 9 of his last 10 on the road. So love that there. I mean, he's taking. And you mentioned the matchup against Luka, which I also love. That's why I love the rebounds play too that you gave out. One of my mans is on that as well. He's going to take 7 to 8 threes, which is about his average over the last 10 games. He's taken over 8 over the last 5 games. So all we need is for him to drain 2. So I love that. On Luka's side, hold on, let me get to that real quick. This shit will work. So Luka has 2+3s in 16 of 18 games this year, 9 of his last 10. All 9 of his last 9 games versus Golden State. At home, 8 of 10 games at home, 8 of his last 10 overall, and 4 at home versus Golden State. He's another guy that's gonna, take a fair amount, averaging over 7 3-point attempts over the last 10 games. So just looking for both guys to make 2. I think that's really, really good value. Another spicy one I'm on. So Tim Hardaway Jr. actually just got ruled into the starting lineup, which I think is great. I don't know if the line changed. I took this earlier, but I took him to have 1 turnover at -130. That was with him only averaging about 23 minutes per game. He's probably going to see more now, obviously, with him starting. He has a turnover in 7 of his last 8 games, at least 1 turnover, 7 of his last 8 games, 8 of his last 10 home games. He's a guy that's facilitating a little bit more. His assist numbers are going up. So obviously the turnovers are going to go up when you facilitate more. 1+ turnover in 16 of his last 20 home games as well. So I loved it with him coming off the bench, playing bench minutes. Love it even more with him starting. What else I got? So the PPD that me and my boy MJC are going to give out for the Twitter fam, that's going to be Brunson 20+ and the Knicks money line. So I know a couple of people in here want Detroit plus the points. I like the Knicks today. Brunson, hold on, let me get to that. Brunson has 21+ points in 5 of his last 6 games. He's averaging over 30 points in his last 4 games. He has 21+ in 3 of his last 4 versus Detroit, who are allowing the second most points and third highest field goal percentage to opposing point guards. And he has 20+ points in 8 of his last 8, in 8 of New York's last 8 wins, which obviously we're expecting them to win. So yeah, and Knicks are 10-0 last 10 versus Detroit, like you mentioned before. They also 5-0 straight up last 5 in Detroit. So it's a tougher spot, right? Not a fist pump amazing spot for the Knicks, but I think they can get it done. Got a couple of leans. I think I'm gonna make Nurkic rebounds official. That's at 9.5. Low total. We're expecting more missed shots. Nurkic has by far gotten the best of Zubac in their matchups. So I really like that. That's a guy averaging 18 rebound chances over the last 7 games. So I think that's plenty. There's guys on Portland that obviously rebound the ball as well, like Josh Hart, Jeremy Grant, guys like that. But I think he can get 10 boards in a matchup where he's probably not going to get played off the floor. Obviously guarding Zubac most of the time. So I'm probably going to make that official too, and I would lean towards Dinwiddie assists. That's at 4.5. So officially, Wiggins over 16.5. Wig and Luka 2+3s. Brunson 20, and the Knicks money line, and Nurkic over 9.5 boards.
Love them joints, Finesse. Love them joints, bro. Love the breakdowns as well, man. It sound like old times, bro. I love it, bro. Love it. Appreciate you sharing those, Finesse. Let me kick it to Bookie, and then I'm gonna come to you, Hustle, and then Boogie, and then Vaughn. What's up, Bookie? How you doing?
What's up, bro? So I see most of the value today in that Golden State game, like most others, I imagine. But so I just want to talk a little bit about the situation going on in Dallas right now at the center position. Just last game, actually, at the end of the game, a press conference, we're reading off the stats to Luka, comparing how the Mavericks were playing at the beginning of the game when they started Powell, compared to at the start of the third, coming out of halftime when they started Wood. And they asked Luka which lineup did you like better. He said the lineup coming into the third with Wood starting. They asked Jason Kidd the same question, and he said they thought they played the poorest basketball in the third quarter. We've been seeing it all season. The reporters will ask Wood, do you think he should be playing more? Would you like to play more? And he'll always say, he would love to play more. He thinks he can produce more. And Kidd's been really stubborn, man. He's not putting an effort to play him anymore, to start him, nothing. And Mavs Twitter was actually going wild too. Even some Mavs fans, they were booing. And they're at home today. And I think interesting angle. If they are getting smacked up early on today, there definitely could be Kidd definitely could pull Powell early on and give Wood most of the run at the start of the second half. So Powell under. I was looking at that, but I'm not sure if that's such a solid play, but that was just an interesting angle. But I was actually on the Wiggins unders like you too, Chris, on the rebounds. I was looking back at some players who were guarding Luka. You had Drew Holiday getting 1 rebound, Marcus Smart with 2, Bruce Brown with 4 and 4 in both games, Royce O'Neal with 4, all going under their prop. There were a couple players who went over, but Paul George, Tatum, and Anobi, 3 guys who are big rebounders anyways. So I really like that look. I'm on that officially.
Okay, Bookie. Okay, I like that we aligned on that, bro. You did a lot more research than I did.
Yeah, I was looking back at it farming, and it looks like every player goes over under their prop, that rebound prop almost just from running around them all game.
It makes sense. It makes a lot of sense.
Points like everyone else, man. Over 9 and 12, 13 and 19 in the season, 3 or 4 versus Dallas last season. Finesse just mentioned averaging like 22 points per game, I think, and then 16 field goal attempts on the last few games. Dallas great at containing shooters with the ball in their hands, but vulnerable to spot-up shooters. Dallas allows the 12th highest spot-up shot frequency, 5th highest PPP, points per possession, spot-up shooters, second highest score frequency. Wiggins attempts the most spot-up shots on the team and has the highest spot-up shot frequency and the highest point per possession in spot-up shots, with Clay right behind him. But Wiggins definitely will have the advantageous matchup with Luka on him, and also with all the eyes on Clay and Steph today. I can definitely see him getting a couple extra shot opportunities. I was looking back at the players, the shooting between 13 and 18 field goal attempts. That's his sweet spot, it seems like. And 11 of 14 players that met that criteria went over the line. And looking at the players that went under, Michael Porter Jr., a player that relies heavily on the three-point shot. Wiggins not like that. He can get his spots elsewhere. Denny Avdia with 12 points on only 13 attempts, and Cam Johnson with 15 on only 13. If Wiggins only shoots 13 attempts today, I'd lose my mind. God, I do not see that happening. But close spread, Dallas forced to pace up against Golden State. I think it's just a great spot. Like the line was minus 151. It's moved it to 17.5. I just think it's just a really great spot.
Okay. Hey, best of luck, Bookie. I like the looks, bro. I definitely hope you cash it, man. I'm glad we on the same side tonight too. Makes me feel good. Let me kick it to Hustle, and then I'm gonna come to you, Vaughn, and then you, Boogie.
Chris, what's the deal?
What up, man? How you doing?
Same old, so just reheated, man. Another day just trying to cash, man. Still on a good run. Yesterday was really good for me, really profitable. A lot of those plays I gave out in the spaces yesterday, they hit. The only thing that didn't hit was that 20-point parlay I put out, and Donovan Mitchell. I don't know what he was on yesterday or what happened, but
oh no, he was on. It won't. Who he was on. It was who was on him, and that was OG Anunoby. OG took him out the game, bro.
I seen this guy had 5.0 rebounds, like 3 or something. I'm like,
that's the OG effect, man. OG will do that to you, bro.
Yeah, that was wild. But I also had 2 parlays that I didn't give out yesterday because I made them up like last minute. But we was talking about those unders, so I just figured Sabonis wasn't gonna hit his overs in a matchup against Aiden. So I took Sabonis under rebound paired with AD's over points and AD's over rebounds with Sabonis's under points. You know what I'm saying? So that was 2 separate parlays of 2 each, and both of those cashed. AD went over, Sabonis didn't. So today I got a couple values. I'm looking for the value today. I'm definitely on that. I was already on that Steph Curry assists and rebound. That's gold right there, 12.5. I'll take that all day. I don't care who they're playing on. I'll take 12.5 all day for him. An easy one. I'm taking the favorites today. Like all 3 games, taking the favorites. That's damn, I forgot what that was.
You just parlayed all their money lines, or you took them on the spread?
No, just money line.
Okay.
Money line favorite.
Okay.
I believe it was like 2. It's like 2 something.
Okay.
They should get this all the favorites to win. It's actually plus 330.
Okay.
So that's definitely worth it for me, even if that doesn't cash. Like that's worth it, the favorites. I got another parlay. I got and I round robin is. I got Anthony Simons over the 23.5. Of course, he's been crushing. He's been getting 24, 25 a game. I think this 24 should be easy versus the Clippers. His volume alone is, makes that a good bet. Also, Reggie Jackson, he has not been scoring at all. Basically, I mean, like you would think he would with PG and Kawhi being out. They got him at 14.5. And I'm definitely taking that under. He's been getting like 9 points, 11 points, 5 points. He's not scoring at all, not getting up a lot of volume. And then I'm taking Jalen Brunson over 22.5. He's been cashing 24, 25. He's had 30 the other night. He's been consistent for me. So those three combined is plus 575. And if you want to go even safer, round robin that twos by two is plus 254 on a round robin. So
okay,
that should be great for me taking those, and that's what I got in this 3-game slate, man.
Okay. Hey, best of luck, man. I hope you cash him.
Appreciate it, man. You too.
Good luck. Good luck. Boogie. Boogie then Vaughn.
Hold on 1 second.
Hey, you highly requested out here, Boogie. People need to know that what them underplays is gonna be, man. They parlaying them just like you did yesterday.
I got something for y'all, man. And look, one thing was crazy. The one parlay yo tweeted about yesterday where he was like, yo, why SGA was the only one that didn't hit with a parlay? And he only went over by 1 point.
Yeah, the lines are sharp, bro. They definitely sharp. But I think what you did yesterday, you just kind of opened people's eyes to, towards taking some of these unders. So if it's profitable, we keep talking about it. If we can win money off of it, let's keep going. What you got today?
All right, so today I'm only gonna give you the couple that I like the most. I'm gonna give you a real safe one that I went with. Today I'm trying to method where I'm gonna alt the under, so I'm gonna go up a couple extra points than the average, but I'm only dealing with people that's in bad matchup spots and who didn't hit their line in at least 50% of under in the last 11 games.
Okay.
All right, so hold on 1 second. But first, we're going to go to Detroit and New York. And I see this total at 224, right? The last 10 times that New York and Detroit played, they only averaged 204 points in the last 10 games. I think that number is crazy. I think it's a little too high. So what I did was not only did I play the 224 under, but I altered 215 under also, and I got that plus 250.
Okay.
And then we're gonna go to this is Portland and Clippers. All right, so I like Marcus Morris under 15.5 points. I like Josh Hart under 7.5 rebounds. I like Justice Winslow under 5.5 rebounds. Reggie Jackson under 6.5 assists. Terrence Mann under 4.5 assists. We like Marcus Morris under 2.5 made threes. Terrence Mann under 1.5 made threes. Reggie Jackson under 2.5 made threes. And if y'all want to take somebody out, put somebody in, y'all can. I would just not go over. I would not go over 8. And I would not be under 6 players for the parlays for the unders. And that is plus 7,093. The alt one is right here. Hold on 1 second. All right, so this is the alt one. I really like this one. I feel like this is going to just be a little booster. This definitely should cash. Like I said, these players are in bad matchup spots. Their point total, they usually don't hit this in a lot of their games. Luka and Steph, I did Luka at 37.5 under points. I did Steph under 32.5. Steph is definitely in a bad matchup today. Dallas is top 5 in the league when it comes to giving up points to point guards. So I really feel like Steph going, like you said, he's gonna be working in the paint today. So I think 32.5 is just a little bit too much for him today. Same with Luka. I think he's gonna struggle today. He's gonna be more of a facilitator. So 37.5 is just he's not getting it today versus Golden State. It's gonna be an under game, low total game. I got Klay Thompson under 20.5 points. Now, Klay is the only player that I chose today who hit his point mark 17.5. He hit that 72% of the times in the last 11 games. But Dallas is top 5 also when it comes to giving up points to shooting guards. I took Yusuf Nurkic under 3.5 alt assists, Norman Powell under 4.5 alt rebounds, Nurkic under 11.5 alt rebounds, Josh Hart under 8.5 alt rebounds, and Marcus Morris under 5.5 alt rebounds. $20 got me $292. I think when I did the screenshot, I forgot to see what the actual odds was. And then I got one more for y'all, and I'm gonna get up out of here. My last under, this is mostly points. I went with Amir Kofi under 10.5, Norman Powell under 18.5, George Hart under 10.5, Morris again under 15.5, and Nurkic under 15.5. And then I also added Poole and Thompson under 15.5 and under 17.5. And 12, well, that is plus 9,364.
Okay. Hey, Boogie, do me a favor. And when you like tweet them joints and at me, because I know people want them and they probably can't, hear everything that you're saying because you're going kind of fast because you got so many legs on the ticket. So if you wouldn't mind, tweet them joints and at me, and that way I'll retweet them on the ChrisBeCappinn show page. Yeah, get them joints over to me.
One more straight play for y'all. So I really like the Detroit Pistons to win the first quarter or the first half. Is up to y'all which one y'all choose. I chose the first quarter. They done beat the Knicks 6 out of the 6 last times they played in the first quarter and the first half. Dallas Mavericks, they won the last 5 of the 6 first quarters. And I really like them against Golden State, and I love them at home in the first quarter. I've been cashing on them a lot this year. It's like they just shoot, their role players shoot lights out, and they play very good defense in the first quarter. And then I also like the Portland Trailblazers first quarter. All of those are straight plays, and I just took their spreads. That's all I got for y'all. And I'm going to send them screenshots over ASAP.
All right, bet. Appreciate you, Boogie. Best of luck, bro. I hope you cash them joints too. Let me get the Vaughn real quick, and then bet with the boys. I'm gonna get you up, and we'll get ready to get up out of here, man. What you want, Vaughn? What's going on, man? How you doing?
I'm good, bro. You hear me good?
Yeah, you good?
All right, man. Hard to follow up Boogie after being one of the most requested. I seen him in the app mentions, and I don't even follow him last night. So I know he had a hell of a night.
Oh yeah, you went crazy last night with them unders, bro.
Hey, look, man, we not getting too crazy tonight, man. So we on Jeremy Grant points 21.5. I tweeted it at the CBC show, the one you be promoting, about sending the plays to. So just a couple points on Jeremy Grant. Last 3 games, he scored 21, 44, and 29. Shot attempts last 2 games, 24 and 20. Lead the team in usage rate. Last 7 games, Clippers giving up 26 points to the power forward position. They 4th worst guard in 3. And Jeremy Grant been shooting the 3 well. He's also been getting to the free throw line as well. I think he's averaging about 9 attempts per game. That's heavily carried by 28 free throw attempt night against the Knicks a couple nights ago. So we on Jeremy Grant points for a full unit. We went in the Discord yesterday. We went 5 and 3, bro. 63%. Love that hit rate, so we're not going to get too crazy tonight. So we on Jeremy Grant points. We're going to go with Jalen Brunson points at 22.5. A couple people talked about it. When we talk about guards scoring, we talk about attacking the Nuggets, the Rockets, and over the last couple of weeks, we've been talking about attacking the Timberwolves. Throughout the entire season, though, if you've been following Chris and you've been listening to the spaces and stuff like that, we've also been talking about attacking point guards or any guard that's playing against the Pistons. They're dead last against the point guard position in points per game, and they've been
bottom 3, no matter where you look. You look last 7 games, last 15, full season. So they give it up to the point guard. Also, with Jalen Brunson, we've seen a bit of an uptick in usage as well as an uptick in shot attempts. So we going with Jalen Brunson points at 22.5. That's all we official on so far. I think I'm going to get there with Steph's rebounds and assists at 12.5. That one going to be a lean right now. And I want to get there with Marvin Bagley points. But I need Bogdanovich to be ruled in, or Jade, or Ivy. I need one more good player to be ruled in. Because without it, it's just kind of hard to take somebody points when they don't have a whole lot of options. Because this when you start seeing double teams and shit like that, and that's when you got to start pivoting to PRA. I don't know how much I trust Marvin Bagley to make the right decision when it comes to passing the ball, but I know he can score the ball. So if Bogdanovich or Ivy, hopefully both is ruled in, then I'm gonna get there with Marvin Bagley points. Even though Beef Stew coming back tonight, I just don't see him like he has no real effect on the offensive end. He's not gonna affect shot attempts or anything like that. I hear a lot of people on Wiggins. I seen something earlier and it said Wiggins is the most bet on player tonight. I think I'm gonna end up taking a personal play on Clay, bro. It's just when too many people are on one person, you just gotta pivot sometime. So that's all we're gonna be on, man. We official on Brunson points. We're official on Jeremy Grant points. Let's go official with Steph rebounds and assists at 12.5. A lean to Marvin Bagley points. And that's all we on so far. I think the Clay one just gonna be a personal play. I'll probably play his threes. I see a lot of statistics with people talking about spot up shooters against Dallas. However, I want to take the better shooter with Clay, and then I know if Clay ain't gonna do nothing else, he gonna get his attempts.
That's a fact.
That's all we on. We not very heavy tonight, man. We went after a pretty good night last night. Like I said, we're gonna take it light. I'm already on Boston team total first half tomorrow, whatever it is. I don't know who they play against. I don't know if Jaylen Brown in. I'm just rolling with the green machine until it lose. Boston first half team total is they hit the last 5 games at home, and I think they're at home tomorrow. I'm taking it. Already on it, 1 unit, whatever it is.
Okay, my man. Okay. Let me see. I feel like I was looking at the schedule. I don't think Boston play tomorrow. I think they off tomorrow. No, they play the Heat tomorrow, and they 8-point favorites.
Oh yeah, give me the total, whatever it is. Just give it to me. 57, 58, 59, 60. Give me anything except 62 and over.
I got you. Okay. Hey, best of luck, man. I hope you catch some tickets tonight, man. Let me get to bet with the boys, and then I'm kicking it to Josh. What's up, Bet? How you doing, man?
What's going on, brother?
Doing pretty good, man. How about yourself?
All right. Yeah, I got one pick tonight. Before I get there, I just want to let you know I'm going to DM you my Venmo so you can send me a request because them Lakers literally cost me some money last night.
Hey, if you listened to the show yesterday, I told you I won't on them.
No, I wasn't on there, brother. I just looked at my history. I haven't bet them in over like 7 months, so I don't know why last night I decided to bet them, and I just reminded myself why I don't bet them.
Yeah, I don't even need that reminder. I'm good off of them, bro. I get become emotionally invested too, so yeah, I'm good, bro.
But yeah, real quick, so I'm going with the Mavs first half. I like the game, the full game, but I really just decided I'm going to go with the first half. If I don't want to really mess with that third quarter Warriors. If the Mavericks can just escape that first quarter, I think the second quarter is really their suit. I think they can really suit up and get that job done. They're on like a hard end of they just got home, a 3 losing streak on the roads. They're finally home, got the rest day in. I think this is a good spot for them, to clean up and play hard, especially in the first half when the Warriors are just starting their road trip up coming down from Minnesota.
Okay. Bet you went back to you on mute if you wanted to finish that.
Oh no, that was it.
Oh, that was it. Okay. Hey, best of luck, man.
Really.
Best of luck. You what you get it at, Bet? What you played it at?
I just took the money line at minus 105.
The money line minus 105.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Best of luck to you, man. I'm some games I feel like I got a real good grasp on, and I'll try to figure out game flow, and I just kind of feel like Golden State's kind of, taking a turn here where their offense has been highly efficient. You see Draymond go out, score 19 points, 7 assists in the first half. Much faster paced team, but it does kind of feel like Golden State's kind of turning they're turning the corner. I think I talked about it last week, just about the conversation that they needed to have. Draymond and Steph, not Draymond and Steph, my fault. Draymond and Clay actually had a sit down, like a heart to heart. And Draymond was like, yo, you got to stop shooting the ball so much. Like you pressing and we want the best for you. You letting it fly a little too much. You got to start looking for your teammates because, guys open, you just jacking. So since then, if you go back and look at Clay logs, he been actually, doing a much better job because it does seem like he's not pressing as much. And then, with Dallas, they just, kind of going through it. Eventually they're going to turn it around for sure. I think I agree with that. But bringing in Kimba, I don't think gonna help. But, I do think that they'll, probably, get a little better. But I can't figure this game flow out for this one. So I'm gonna stay off the game flow. I don't know how it's gonna happen. So like I said, a game I'm just gonna watch. I do like Steph points, and I'm gonna play his rebounds plus assists at 12.5. Take the over there, and I'm official on Wiggins under 5.5 rebounds. But that's what I'm on in that one. Best of luck to you though. Bet with the boys. Josh, I'm gonna kick it to you and get Zay up, and then we're gonna get up out of here. What's up, Josh? How you doing, my brother?
Hey, Chris, what's going on?
How you doing, man?
Appreciate you, man. I'm doing well, man. Hope you're well too.
Yes, sir.
All right, so I got 2 plays. One's hockey and one's NBA. I'm on Jalen Brunson over his points today, and my favorite play on the card today is hockey. David Pastrnak plays for the Boston Bruins. You don't know him, you know him tonight. People call him Pasta. He's gonna score a goal tonight. Anytime the Boston Bruins are on the power play, they're always scoring goals. So best number I got right now is on Caesars plus 111. It's 5 goals in the last 4 games, and it scores 6 goals in the last 3 games against Tampa. 3 straight goals. So cash.
Okay. Hey, best of luck. We got the hockey up here. Okay, Josh. Josh, why you on Brunson tonight? Why you like Brunson so much?
I just think it's a good matchup for them. I don't have any of the Daily analytics to show you right now, but it's something that I feel or I've seen watching them play that it was he's a good facilitator. I think the shots are good up there for him.
I test. Okay. I like it. I like it a lot. I like Brunson tonight too, man. I really hadn't looked at Julius Randle. I know it's the birthday narrative. I don't really play the birthday narrative too much. Just because it's your birthday don't necessarily mean you're gonna go off. I do think that he got a much better matchup tonight. Julius Randle does tonight than he will tomorrow. He it's gonna be difficult to score tomorrow against on the second night of a back-to-back, playing against the Milwaukee Bucks. So I do like Brunson though. I like him a lot tonight. And I talked about, taking his points in a little parlay that I made as well. So best of luck to you, Josh. Appreciate the pasta play on the ice tonight. So it looks like Bogdanovich just got ruled in and Ivy just got ruled out. I think we got probably about 30-40 minutes before game time. Bogdanovich is in, which actually helps that offense a lot, and that +5 looks a little better. Might actually come down, and you got Jaden Ivey is ruled out with the knee injury. So waited all day just to find out one of them in and one of them going to be out. I see the spread at 4.5, and it's probably going to change. I think it'll probably come down to 4. Circle got a 5, but a lot of books got a 4.5 right now. So, that's that. Vaughn, my fault. Before I come back to you, Vaughn, let me kick it to Zay real quick. What's up, Zay?
What's happening, Chris?
How you doing, bro?
I'm keeping it small tonight. 3-leg parlay. I'm going to do Jalen Brunson 20 in the win, Andrew Wiggins 20 in the win, and Jeremy Grant 20 in the win for 22.35 for plus 22.35.
22.35. All them guys that scored 20 and 22 in the win, and that's what you got?
20 in the win.
20 in the win for all 3 of them?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought I heard you say 22. Okay. Hey, that's okay. Best of luck, bro. I hope you cash it. It's some nice odds, especially if all the favorites win. Absolutely, bro. Vaughn, I'm gonna come back to you before we shut it down. What up, Vaughn?
Hey, bro. So real quick, man, it was one I forgot to give out. I haven't given this one out to the Discord yet. So we going with Draymond Green, 6.5 assists. Also Jalen Brunson, 6 assists. I parlayed them 2 together to get plus 131. So what we doing is what we like with that one is so far this year. Of course, these teams have already played. We got Brunson has 6 and 7 assists against Detroit. And then also just over the last couple games versus Detroit, Garland got 10, Payne got 10, Sexton got 12. So they've been kind of giving it up these last couple games. So I like that trend, but I'm gonna play it down to 6. I don't like 7 assists for Jalen Brunson. I like 6 a whole lot more. I feel like it give us a whole lot more wiggle room. And then Draymond Green assists. I think over the last 3 games, if you look at it, his potential assists are up. His minutes have been up a little bit. His minutes have been up, but also with that, he's been playing with the second unit. So he's been playing the second unit point guard. So when Steph and them come out, he's the first sub to come back in, and he's playing with Jordan Poole, kind of controlling that second unit. And he's averaging 9 assists over the last 3 games, kind of controlling that second unit. You can play it up to 7 or 8. I'm being kind of safe tonight because it's just not a card that I'm in love with. So again, that's Draymond Green at 6.5 and Jalen Brunson at 6. Parlayed together, we get plus 161. I love that one tonight.
Okay. Hey, best of luck, bro. Best of luck. I hope you cash it, Vaughn. And that's all the requests that we got, man. So real quick to kind of wrap it up, I told you guys I took the Pistons before the news just came out. Got them at plus 5. Heavy lean towards the under in that one. I talked about the impact that Marvin Bagley makes. And Ski got a nice little write-up in the chalkboard as well for the under as well, if you guys want to hop on the under. And then Warriors game, like I said, I'm official on Clay under the 5.5 rebounds. Gave the breakdown for that one earlier. And then nothing official for me in this Clippers and Blazer game that I actually played. But I probably will get there with Simon's points. Over 23.5. I talked about him going over in both of his games so far this season without Dame. And he shot the ball 20 and 21 times. And then the only other thing that I talked about was just a small parlay. So if I'm looking at, actual players, and this is almost like a stars will be stars parlay for the night. I do like I don't like that it feels like everybody's on the same thing. That typically doesn't bode well. But Brunson to go, to score 25, parlay with Steph to go for 30, parlay with Simons to go for 25. I think it was plus 941. Small play for me, 10th of a unit. Just to kind of have some fun with that one. So Anthony Simons 25, Steph to go for 30, and Jalen Brunson to go for 25. Also official for me, going back to the Warriors game, Steph over 12.5 rebounds plus assists. I really, really like that line a lot. I'm gonna make that a 1 unit play as well. And then everything else that's it. Honestly, that's it. I kind of got a brain fart just now. I wanted to mention that what Boogie had tweeted about the unders, he actually just tweeted it to the ChrisBeCappinn show page. So I retweeted it there. He got every single leg that he talked about for you guys, all 4 of them. So if you guys, hopefully you're following that page already. If you're not, let me see. I'm gonna get that page to actually. Let's see. Let's send it a co-host link. I actually can't. But yeah, if you're not following that page, man, follow that page for his official for those official. Take whatever you want. You don't necessarily have to parlay all the unders. You could just take a couple if you want. Take the odds down if if you're in the unders. But official for me, like I said, Wiggins under 5.5 rebounds, Steph over 12.5 rebounds plus assists, and Detroit plus the 5. Those are the 3 officials for me. Small parlay on Brunson 25, Steph 30. And Anthony Simons 25 at plus 941 odds. Best of luck to you guys. Back tomorrow morning to break down the big NBA card. And then, of course, tomorrow evening, 5:15 NBA ChrisBeCappinn show, man. Best of luck to you guys and everything that you bet today. I'm out.